The final topic we'll be discussing today is what is going on in the United States. We are going to discuss Trump's threats to the BRICS nations. But before then, I just wanted to quickly touch on the fact that um, Joe Biden visited Angola and some other African countries. He's like he's trying to woo Africa again. Come, let me pull you out of the grip of the Chinese. So he's trying to woo Africa again. And I'm not impressed. First of all, why am I not impressed? Because Biden is out of office in how long? In a few weeks. By January 20th, Trump will be inaugurated. So whatever Biden is trying to do, anybody can just ignore it. If Africa was really important to Biden, Biden should have come in the beginning part of his administration. He shouldn't be coming at the tail end of his administration. Nobody really cares. And then he came in and he made a commitment of $1 billion in humanitarian aid for Africa. I need the Americans to realize that as someone who likes the American people and the American fashion, music, movies, or the American culture, I need the Americans to realize that even if things look the same in Africa for now, there's a shift. Change is happening while it's still brewing on the ground, it's still brewing gradually. That doesn't mean a monumental change isn't going on. I said that to say this behavior of just throwing all right Africa and aid, it's like aid has become synonymous with Africa. You think Africa, oh, help you, they need help, they need food, they are hungry, they are poor, that's how the whole thing has evolved to be. And about I want the Americans to know that there's a generation of Africans, especially young Africans, that are coming on the scene, and they are coming with so much dissatisfaction. They want to change the system. These people who are coming on the scene are not impressed by aid. So this thing that Biden came and default setting, oh, just give them 1 billion, the continent, give them $1 billion in humanitarian aid. It's not going to cut it anymore. It's not going to. If you want to work with Africans and if you want to be in Africans, you have to be in Africa because you care about the Africans, not because oh well, there's a problem and they need our money. No, no, no. Because you're looking at Africans as equal partners. Do you get me? You're looking at Africa as equal partners. Africans are equal partners and not subjects that you can tell to do this and that. And when they do your bidding, you just throw humanitarian aid their way. It's not going to work anymore. It's not going to work. Because like me now, how I felt when I saw that, I was like, oh, all right, these people just will not learn. This it's not going to cut it anymore. And that's why you hear a lot when you hear a lot of people within their political groupings and you hear their political analysts when they talk, when they mention Africa is even getting involved in Africa now is just oh let's do this in Africa to counter Russia and China in Africa. It's not they're not doing it in Africa because they look at Africans as equal partners. No, they're just doing it because let's just counter the growing influence. That's how they always phrase it, the growing influence of Russia and China in Africa. I heard Condoleezza Rice say something. I know I mentioned in the last episode that I'm going to be quoting her a lot. I've been listening to her, and I think she's a very intelligent woman, even if I don't agree with her ideologically. So she said something that I agree with. She said they asked her a question about the Russia and China's influence in Africa and how America should be able to count things America should do to be able to counter it. And she said we cannot use this idea, this mindset to approach the Africans because it doesn't make sense. If we are getting involved in Africa, we should get involved in Africa because we want to get involved in the Africans, not because of Russia or China. And she's right. She's right. Even when I saw some media publications talk about Biden's visit to Africa, they still did it at the backdrop of oh Russia and China's great influence in Africa. So this is America's way to counter them. To counter them. Okay, let's look at that counter. Let's see how well the countering has worked. China is doing in this BRICS, this new Silk Road, this construction that China is doing. I've forgotten the name now. I'm so surprised that I've forgotten. It's the BRI, but I need to remember the full name. But in that infrastructure work that China is doing, that they call the new Silk Road, how many African countries have benefited with the creation of ports, with the creation of railways, with the creation of um, airports? across the continent. You want to counter that? If you want to counter that, it's not $1 billion humanitarian aid. Africans are not impressed by it. If you want to counter that, that's not how you go about it. That's not how you go about it. You're going to go about it. You not just if you want to counter, you don't just match because in this time frame of 10 years, yes, China have spent hundreds of billions of dollars in Africa. Hundred because initially they were giving loan, right? Then they found out that some leaders of some African countries were not using these loans to do what they said we're going to use them to do. So instead, China said, fine, we'll engage in infrastructure development. And they will put the infrastructure development where people are, in areas that are heavily lived in, where there's a lot of population, so that the people can benefit and use those infrastructure projects to grow the economy. All the places where you see railway, that China built railway across Africa, it is in heavily populated areas that is adding back to the economy of those regions. So if you want to counter China, say, oh, America is really serious about countering China, you will not counter China with 24 billion dollars in whatever it is you're doing and $1 billion in humanitarian aid. Africa is not impressed by that. You want to counter China? Good. Let me tell you how to do it. For every airport China builds, you counter that with two airports. For every railway, you should counter that with railway. Don't give money. We're not looking for money. Money is not our problem in Africa. Africans, if we will just get serious, if we will just get serious, all the money that these people are throwing at the African problem, we don't need it. Africa is even supposed to be giving loans to countries. Africa is supposed to be giving loans if we leverage our human resource, the people that we have on this continent, the young people. We should we leverage it well, then leverage our natural resources, leverage everything God has given to us. These people, money is not supposed to be impressing Africa. Money doesn't impress us. Money is not supposed to be impressing Africans. But no, because of intentional and the support of terrible governments, the intentional sabotage of Africa, that's why they think they can throw 1 billion at us and we'll be dancing, oh, 1 billion in our lives. We've never thought to see this money. Please, I'm not impressed. Now let us go back to the main conversation I wanted us to have. And that is Donald Trump. The braggadocious Donald Trump. He's a very interesting figure. He's a very interesting figure. So Donald Trump just threatened BRICS. And I'm talking about BRICS because African nations, South Africa, Ethiopia, Egypt, are part of BRICS. And we also have countries like Algeria and Nigeria and a few other African countries that are members of um, partners of BRICS. No, they're not yet full members, but they're partners. So Donald Trump said that if BRICS dares, if they dare to set up a new currency, that they are going to get every BRICS nation, and I'm assuming even partner nations, are going to have 100% tariffs thrown at them if they want to sell to the wonderful American market. That they should BRICS should go and find another sucker. Okay. First, I want to tell Donald Trump that people did not just wake up and say they were not going to use the dollar. No, it was because America weaponized the dollar. America weaponized the dollar. That's the reason why. Nobody came in and said, oh, our goal for this year is to completely destroy the US dollar. It was the way America weaponized the dollar that other nations said, let us find a way to protect ourselves and protect our countries and find an alternative mode of payment outside of the US dollar. That is the number one. Number two, he's threatening BRICS creating a new currency. He's threatening BRICS creating a new currency that is going to rival the USD. And to the best of my knowledge, has not fully come out to say they are going to create a new currency. The talks that is going on within BRICS, because everybody accepts that creating a new currency is not child's play. So the talks that are currently what they are looking at immediately, maybe the BRICS currency more further down the line, but the immediate talks that are going on now is working with a pool of currencies of BRICS states for transactions. So if I want to buy from South Africa now, I don't need to use US. But why are we using US dollar? Why are we using the USD to transact within Africa? What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of thing is that? So anyway, if you want to do that, me and like Nigeria and South Africa now say they want to transact, they will just transact with the pool of currencies like the naira and the rand. So if Donald Trump is threatening a new currency, Mr. Trump, you're not in a new currency in the immediate, maybe in the future, yes, but in the immediate term, you're not in a new currency, maybe a digital one, probably. But all of this is happening because your country weaponized the dollar. With all these sanctions. What is this? With all these sanctions you are throwing all over the place, with all this say, like imagine because you're holding your money, your country's money in USD, and because it's in USD, it has to be held in some of these banks in Europe or the United States. If you are not the United States, they'll just seize your money. People they did it to Russia. They'll seize your money. Or they will seize your gold. They did the gold to Venezuela. If you upset them, they'll seize your money, seize your gold. So who will want to be because it's not a fair game. So who will want to keep playing that game? Who want to keep playing that game? The reason United States is falling, the empire is collapsing, it's not because of something that outsiders are doing to the US. It's because of the policies of the United States. A handful of people who have this idea that United States is the boss of the world, therefore it has to keep asserting itself as the boss of the world. I told you, Condoleezza Rice said it plainly that America is a world power and world powers don't mind their business. So if you keep playing games like this, you will just make the whole world sick and tired of you. And no matter how much you scream, Donald Trump, no matter how much you kick, no matter how much you fight, no matter how much you complain, you cannot stop it. The dollarization has happened. You can threaten 100% tariffs. People will just find a way to function outside of selling to you. Yes, America is a very important market. I think it's even the most important market in the world. But it's just for a time. The more these systems and structures are created outside of the United States, you find that you're living in a bubble. Keep throwing your tariffs. Oh my God, have a field day with it. Have a field day with it. Keep throwing your sanctions. Knock yourself out. Keep weaponizing your dollar. Exhaust yourself with it. You realize that you have only successfully pushed the world to create an economic structure outside of you. And by the time that structure fully takes shape, there is nothing else you would do within your power that can stop it. So if you keep throwing tariffs, people will just find a way to. After all, when they said Russia should not sell its oil to Europe, Russia found a market with India and China, and the Russian economy continued to grow. So you say you are going to throw tariffs at half the population of the world. I'm so sorry, I'm laughing. This whole thing is just ridiculous. You say you want to throw tariffs at half the population of the world because population of BRICS now, including not just the members but also the partners, is a lot. So you throw tariffs at half the population of the world. You just inspire them and trigger them to create strong structures outside of you. That's what it is. The only way I don't. First of all, I think this whole de-dollarization thing has happened though, and I don't think it can be reversed. But really, the only way that you can completely change the this whole thing about the dollarization and not just the dollarization but the multipolar world, you can change it from being right now it's looking as if it's the west best the rest. The only way you can change that is America should just learn to play fair. There's international law. America will pick and choose which international law to follow. Then when it finds that it's really acting funny with the way the international law is working, to now tell you rules based order. What is rules based order? They will not now say international law, they will say rules based order. It's the same way we saw when the ICC put arrest warrants for Putin, Vladimir Putin. Everybody was so happy. There were people like Lindsey Graham were like, yes, the ICC is it. This is a proof that you cannot be a bully and do things anyhow to please. There's international law, you respect it. Everyone was happy. The ICC, the best institution in the history of humanity. Then once the ICC put an arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu, oh, it became the worst thing it became the worst thing to exist in the world. There's even The senators, the Senate, the House in the US, they threatened sanctions at the judges. They said they would sanction the judges of the ICC. I thought the ICC was a good thing. No, it's a good thing when it's going against our enemies like Putin, but when it's going against our friends like Netanyahu, it's a very, very terrible thing. So this is why the whole world is sick of it, and everyone is really working for a multipolar world, which is already here, by the way. Is this whole hypocrisy? Is this whole thing that is sickening the whole world? So if Trump wants everyone to, want things to still be good for America, America should first of all stop weaponizing the dollar. America should second of all stop as pushing itself and bullying everybody. Like, just behave like a normal country that obeys international law. You cannot pick and choose which one you want. But I don't think the Americans will stop. It's not, even under Trump, it's not going to stop. So for the next 4 years, I said this to someone this morning before I started recording this show. In the next 4 years, take the biggest popcorn you can find, be eating it, and just look at the United States. We're about to see the funniest show. No, 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 no. We are about to see the funniest show that you could ever watch. There's nothing on Netflix, on Prime, on any streaming platform that you can watch that'll be more entertaining than the United States in the next 4 years. There's nothing at all, nothing. So let me know what you think about Biden coming to Africa and giving us $1 billion in humanitarian aid because, of course, Africans are hungry and they'll always need humanitarian aid. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. And also, Donald Trump threatening, Biden is the outgoing president and Trump is the incoming president. And Donald Trump threatening these BRICS countries, which also includes several African countries, with 100% tariffs if they dare to find a currency to trade outside of the US dollars. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with your family, your friends, and everybody so we can reach more people across the continent and across the world. And if you want to support the work that I'm doing on this show, please use my Buy Me a Coffee link in the description and you'll also see it on the screen. Thank you for joining me in this episode. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.